for like 3 years now, I really wanted to create an extra avenue where I get to talk to you guys more often. And for people who care, like if you only focused on the music, that's great. But if you want to know a bit more about me and like my relationships, my friends, and how I interact, this is the avenue for that. And I've been procrastinating for 3 years, and it just hit me this weekend that look, I'm not that guy. I'm usually the guy who, when I'm passionate about something, I just fix a date and I show up. So today I fixed a date and I showed up. I'm not prepared for this, but we're gonna film the pilot episode of this podcast. So introducing this very podcast for the very first time, it is called This Is What I Mean. So this podcast is basically about me just having conversations with my friends, and I call it light-hearted conversations with an overtone of faith. Of course, the main thing about my life is that I'm a believer. I love Jesus. I follow Jesus. So everything that I do would somehow be on that umbrella. But yeah, we're gonna talk about fun things. We're gonna play games. We're gonna have good laughs. It's just a hangout. So I hope that you all would hang out with me on this journey as we continue. This is my pilot episode. The next couple of episodes might take a while before it comes out. This is not even my space. I just got this space because I'm like, you just have to start. So this is me trying to start without overthinking it. So this is what I mean. You're welcome to the very first episode. And now, my very first episode, I had the pleasure of having one of my friends who happens to be like a superstar. Oh my God, this woman, she's made for the screens. You know, at the time God made her, God just made cameras along to come with her and said,
Stop.
You're meant to be on cameras. But ladies and gentlemen, my friend, superstar, actor. Come, should I say actress or actor?
Just say my name.
Actor, yeah, actor means both.
Yeah, actor.
Actor, Adaobi Dilbor. I hope I didn't mispronounce your surname.
It's Dilbor.
Dilbor, Adaobi
Yeah,
Dilbor.
just soft like that.
How are you?
I'm fine.
You look
I'm
really good.
Thank you. Gracias. You look good as well.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. It's like
Yeah.
Limo called me. I said, Ada, let's shoot a podcast. I'm like,
I beg,
what
I
are
beg,
we
I beg, I
saying
beg, I beg, I
here?
beg.
It's like, no, it's just, it's just vibes. I'm like, okay. Okay. Let's
Yeah.
and yeah, I had to show up for my friend. So
Yeah. This podcast is really just vibes. Y'all don't overthink it. But I know you're like a superstar, but for the few people, like the 3 people in the world out of the 7 billion people that don't know who you are, can you just introduce yourself?
Stop. I just got that's on 3 people.
Can you introduce yourself? Tell us about yourself. Tell us what you do, what you're passionate about.
I like to think that I'm a simple person. And my name is Adaobi Dilbor Lillian, although I don't use that last name. I don't use that name. But yeah, I'm an actor. I have been acting for 6 years, 5 years. I'm young.
Very young.
No, don't do that. Well, yeah, and I love God. I love Jesus. He's like the source of my life. I do think even the way I look is him.
Okay.
You know, yeah, I can be laid back. It depends on what you want.
Yeah.
Right? And yeah, I'm a sweet person. I like to think that.
I believe that too. Is there a reason why you said you don't like using the name Lillian?
I don't know. I just feel like it sounds weird, but I feel like
Yeah.
it's too girly. It's too yay. So I'm like, oh, really?
Adaobi is not girly.
I don't know. I like the name.
Adaobi is I feel like Adaobi just feels like it's more in a traditional context. Like to be honest, I prefer the name Adaobi.
Yeah, I
So-
feel like it stands out sometimes. There's no,
Yeah.
we don't have a lot of them, but I feel like we have a lot of Lillians, and yeah,
Yeah.
representing my culture everywhere I go.
Yeah.
So that'll be fine.
So, we're coming towards the end of the year. What has the year been like for you? What has 2024 been like for you? What has been your experience? What are some of the lessons that you learned from 2024? What are some of your high moments from 2024?
So 2024 for me, it was like a new phase because at the end of 2023,
Yeah.
Blood Vessel was released. So
Yes. Quick plug. They didn't pay me for this plug, but guys, Blood Vessel is an amazing film starring this amazing young woman. You should it's on Netflix, yeah?
yes, on Netflix.
Yeah. They didn't pay me. They should probably send me a check or something.
I'll let them know. So so Blood Vessel got released in December, and it's like a new thing, coming out there and people seeing this talent for the first time.
Yeah.
And after a few months, I got nominated for the best lead actress category for the AMVCAs. So it was like, I think there was some sort of imposter syndrome going on, because like for a long time I didn't even believe that. It's like, was it that good? And I feel like God was also teaching me how to manage this new phase, because sometimes it could be a bit distracting, because my coach says that a lot. I think he says that the accolades and the applauses can get distracting sometimes. So what I like to do is just acknowledge it and just move on. So when I do that quickly. So my friends tell me, oh, you don't soak it in, you don't do. So I tried to soak it in, and it was like, ooh, it's too much. So I went back to my shell, and it this year was a lot of it took a lot of trusting, because when you get to this phase, like, God, what's next? You're like, okay, you brought me out here. What are we doing? I feel like I asked God that a lot this year, and I feel like he's still preparing me for, because this is just like a stepping stone. So this year was a lot of training. It was hard. There were a lot of nights where I cried, and I was like, God, I don't want to be your strongest soldier anymore. Please, can you stop?
I've seen some of your drafts of you crying.
No, I showed you that because you're my friend.
Yes. I'm just trying to tell them that, because one of the things that is fascinating for me, and we'll get to that, about like you, is I love your relationship with God, and how you can, from time to time, in your low moments, in your high moments, how you can just bay it all out to him without holding back. I really like that. But before we get to that, where were you when you got the information that you were nominated for the NVCA? Do you remember where you were?
Yeah, I remember. So on that day, there was no power in my house, so I was tired. So I went to a shortlet, and I was there. And my friend Obina, who was also on Blood Vessel, he came to say hi because he was around there. And he was like, oh, are you going to watch it? And I'm like, I don't think I want to watch it, because like that's not what I'm gunning for. I think I'm gunning for something else. But he was like, he's going to watch it. He doesn't know about me. I mean, so my friend was there watching it, so I had to watch it. And I was washing my hair when the announcement started. So because I was not interested in what was going on, I was like, kudos to the people who were nominated. Yay, I'm cheering for you guys. But on to the next stuff. Like I said, I don't like to dwell on things that, people already said Blood Vessel was good, and I was trying to take my head out of there and, focus on work and preparing as an actor. I just wanted to stay, in the preparation phase. And, when they did the first one for the guys, and David's name came up, we're like, yay, David!
That's my guy, by the way, David.
David is a fantastic actor. And then when Levi's came up for the supporting, I'm like, yay! And it's looking like your name is going to be there as well. I'm like, I don't know, I'm still washing my hair. I think I remember I was just stepping out of the bathroom after washing my hair, and Obina was like, I don't, because, okay, so when they called the names, it was like 4 names before mine. So I was hearing it, I'm a human. So in my head, I was like, it's not going to be bad if I get nominated. So they called the names, and then when they called my name, I didn't even shout. I was like, I was shaking, because I didn't expect it. I'm like, wait, you guys, I had to go and watch Blood Vessel again afterwards, because I'm like, what did y'all see?
Nah, it was so good though.
You know, that night it didn't feel real. I couldn't even sleep because I was like, it happened so fast. Like,
Yeah.
when was I auditioning for this blood vessel? When did it come out? When did I get nominated? And then I looked at categories of people I grew up watching, people I grew up loving, and I was like the youngest in that category. So it was interesting.
When it was announced, what was like the interaction with your phone, with your family members calling you, friends? How do your parents feel about your acting?
Okay, so my dad, in the beginning, my dad did not like me acting.
Very typical of Nigerian parents.
He wanted me to be in the corporate sector.
Yeah.
You know, 9 to
Medical
5.
doctor or
And
what?
yeah. Okay, so for him, it was banking.
Oh, that's
it
good.
was economics, or, you know. And so there was a time where my mom used to sneak me. Daddy, if you see this, I'm sorry. There was a time where my mom used to sneak me out to do auditions. So what she would do is, you know, she would wait at the staircase downstairs. So she would tell my dad that I'm going to see my friend. Then she would step out.
Healthy life, I guess. Shout out to all supportive parents.
Yeah. And so she would go downstairs and keep my audition outfit downstairs.
Oh, wow.
So when I get to, because the way the house is, you get to downstairs before you get outside. So there I would change, and then I'll go for the audition. She would give me my Uber fare, because then I was broke as hell. So she would give me my Uber fare and everything. So when I'm coming back, I'll change again, and I'll tell him that I went to see my friend. And then he'll complain, what kind of friend did you go to see for this long time? I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. So the first time that he accepted that I was acting was where I got my first gig and I got paid.
Yeah.
Then I bought him things. I was like, where did you get the money from? I said, I'm working. They said, what kind of work is that? I said, I'm on TV.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's when he began to accept. And then when he saw it, it looked good. So it looked like I belonged there.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, okay, let's see how it goes.
Honestly, anybody that's seen you on screen can just say she belongs on camera.
Stop.
I'm serious. I'm being for real. But it's very common with like African parents. I knew what my experience was when I started.
Oh, they didn't let you do it?
Oh, no.
Both of them?
Both.
Oh, that's bad.
Both.
That's bad.
Look, it was so bad that as of 2020, my mom was still asking me, when are you going to get a job?
Stop.
I'm
Just
serious.
2028.
Just 2020. When I was already going around the place, I'm Limoblaze. Everybody's like Limoblaze. I was already, to an extent, my mom was still asking me, so when are you getting a job?
Oh,
because for me, growing up, academically, I've always been sound. I've been like top of my class first every year. So I remember being a kid, and my dad goes about telling people he's going to be a medical doctor. He's going to be a medical doctor.
Daddy, please.
In my earliest memory, I feel like I remember wanting to be a medical doctor.
Right.
Yeah. I'll never forget the day it changed for me. And it was one experience.
Yeah.
We went to visit our family doctor, my dad and myself. I think I had a checkup to do, so we went to visit our family doctor. And when we came, he had to tell us to wait for like 10-15 minutes because he was reading. And then because he was in like his book study, he was in his study, and then we were like in the sitting room waiting. But I could see him. The book he was reading was like this. It was this big. And this man had gray hair. And in my head, I'm just like, why? Because the idea that I had about being a medical doctor is, as soon as I go to school and I'm done with school,
just start operating on people.
I just start operating people, like it's over with the books. Right. The whole idea of seeing somebody in his 60s reading a book for me, I'm just like,
kind of large book though.
That kind of large book, and I'm just like, maybe this is not the life I want for myself.
Now I don't want to.
Because while I was in school, I'm not the guy who reads every day. I was gifted in such a way that I pick up my book 2 days to the exam and I'll come first in class.
Wow. I'd have been your friend though. So that
well, I feel like I have a few
the
friends.
The anointing can flow.
I had a few friends in high school, secondary school that got to the shorter end of their stick. Because they will follow me and be playing.
So you used to mislead people.
I wasn't misleading anybody. I was just doing me. And then me, I would not pick up my book 2 days to exam, and then they would pick up their book and
You would not
they are
just enter.
confused
Yeah,
and
right.
they will not fail the exam.
Right.
But I always knew. For me, my thing was you just have to understand yourself. I always understood myself. I knew I was gifted in that way. And to be fair, in secondary school, not cram with the cram things.
Right.
And
Yes.
I had a vague memory. Like if I
So it's like you photocopy just when
Like,
you
I can
the way it's
see the
arranged
book.
in the book.
I
Yeah,
can-
yeah.
If I get to the exam hall and you ask me a question, I can see that definition written. What is economics? I can see it in my book
Right.
written
okay.
from word to word.
It's
So
like a photographic memory.
yes, and then all I needed to do in exam was just change a few words and make it feel like, because we had teachers then that would say, we don't want you to like give us exactly what we gave you.
Like make it your own.
Yeah, make it your own. So I knew exactly what was in the book. All I needed to do was change a few words. And top of the class.
Oh wow.
And my dad kept saying I'll be a medical. I think my mom wanted me to be a lawyer because I was very good.
It's a lot of expectation. Medical doctor, lawyers, like.
Because I was very good with. When it comes to anything argumentative, I was great at it. You are not beating me at an argument. When I was, because I could
change
really.
now.
I just, at this point in my life, I have a lot more peace with letting people think they're right.
Yeah.
Like, even if I know I'm right, I have a lot more peace with just letting you believe you're right. I'm also at a place where I'm open to the idea of maybe I don't know everything. Maybe I'm not always right. So, and I have a lot more peace with just letting conversations go. But yeah, after seeing that medical doctor, our family doctor, I was just like, this is not the life I want for myself.
I don't want to do this.
That's just that. It's interesting how encounters are for people. Like, one thing that you could see could shape your entire perspective.
So was music in the background at that time?
Music has always been in the background of my life
Since you were a child?
since I was a child.
Oh.
I've always loved music. I was in the children's choir when I was a kid. I was the lead vocalist in the children's choir. Since I was a kid, I've always loved music. Did I know if I was going to do music? Here and there. Like, I didn't know if it was going to become like a full-time career or something. I don't think I knew that for sure until after I was done with my first degree after uni.
Right.
Because it's one thing when you're in school and you're just doing this for fun. Because like at the start, music is fun. It still is fun to me. But it's like when you're in school, you're not paying bills. You don't have rent to pay. Nothing. So it's just easy and fun to do music. Yeah. But when you're not done with uni and then everybody in the family is looking at you like,
so what
next? That's where the big decision comes. And I've told the story before. I moved to Lagos because I was born in Benue State, Makurdi. That's where I grew up. And then before that, my mom didn't even want me to leave Benue State because I'm her last child. I'm the last of 8 kids.
Aww.
My mom was super protective of me, but I was like, I knew I wanted to pursue music. And if you grew up in Nigeria, there's this mentality that Lagos is where the industry is at. So I had to run here after school. Didn't even have a house. I was sleeping in someone's studio.
No.
Yeah, on the floor. We're like 4 boys in that one apartment, just sleeping on the, because there was only one bed. There's no mattress. There's no way all of us can sleep on the same mattress.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's whoever goes to bed earliest.
I feel like you guys could have just rotated it like today.
Whoever goes to bed the earliest will get the mattress. But most times, just some people just put like a sheet on the floor and sleep there. But I remember a season because like when I moved to Lagos, I really wanted to prove to my parents that I'm gonna do music, and so I'm not gonna ask for help from home. So there were days where I didn't know when the next meal was gonna come, but my pride and my ego of I need to prove to you all that I'm gonna, because I wouldn't say I'm from like a wealthy family, but we were okay. So my parents could have provided for me if I had asked, but I needed to prove a point. So I remember going job searching, and one of my friends who was also an artist, but he was working in like the corporate sector, he found this job for me. I did the interview. I did a couple of interviews, And at the final interview, somehow the guy went to my page, my Instagram page, and I used to post rap videos every week. Then, yeah, and then he saw me rapping, and he was like, the last he was like, I cannot hire you. If I hire you, I'll be doing you a great evil.
Ooh.
Then he told me that you have something special, and this job is too demanding. If I hire you, I would be doing you a great evil. You might not be able to see it now, but I hope someday you see it. I can't remember that guy's name or his face or whatever it is. I hope I
Thank
can
you.
see him one day.
Whoever it is, thank you.
But he told me that, and then I went home, and I had a conversation with God, and was like, okay, so this is what we are going to do, Lord. I'm going to give this music all of every ability, every talent you put into me, and the time you've made available to me. I'm going to put everything into this for the next 1 year. If you really want me to do this, like, this is the ministry you've called me to, which I believed it was, but I'm like, if this is what you've called me to, I need to see results that would take care of at least my basic needs in the next 1 year. I had that, it was an honest conversation, because I was in tears when I had that conversation with God, because I was broke. And I was like, okay, God, this is our agreement, let's do it.
Ooh.
And that's how I started.
it.
And it's crazy, because in that 1 year I started seeing some sort of motion that changed things for me. And I remember, oh my God, I remember one experience that I broke down crying by 2 a.m.
Ooh, what was it? Share.
There's this American artist who I used to be a fan of. I grew up, it was one of the artists I grew up listening to. It was like a Christian rapper, and a big fan of. I still feel, to be honest, I don't listen to a lot of his music recently, and it's not from a spiteful place or anything. I'm just not tapped in to what he's doing anymore. But I grew up listening to him, and really used to love his music. And I remember the guy who was managing me then was able to get in conversation with him, and then we put out a song together. Now, in recent times, I'm more familiar with how Americans think and act in music. It's very different from the perspective we have. Like, I remember the first time somebody told me that a song we had done and put out, that I needed to pay appearance fee for them to come and shoot the video. I was confused. I'm like, what do you mean? You're on this?
Fee.
Yes.
Where, there or here?
In America.
Wow.
It's pretty standard out there.
Is it?
Like, in my head, I'm like, you're already on this song. We already put out the song. You actually have a percentage on this song. You're being paid off the song, and you need an appearance fee to come to the video.
I don't know if that happens here. I don't.
That is unheard of here. No, who is going to tell you that in this country?
Right.
So the first time I heard that, I was confused. I'm like, what do you mean? But it's like standard practice out there. But yeah, so this person, we did a song together. I was so excited. Song of my favorite artist, and then we put it out. So we put it out, and I was promoting, and on the side, Cricket. He didn't post it. He didn't retweet.
You didn't like the song?
I'm like, if you don't like this, why are you on the song? I don't think that's what it was. But now I'm in a place where if I do something with you and you don't put, I don't care. Like, I don't have that sense of entitlement to it, because I just understand that, oh, these people are different. This is how they move. It's different from how we move out here. I think it's a cultural thing, or
I just promote your stuff.
I charge it to culture and to the game, to be honest. But I remember just being so angry and sad at the same time, like, because at one point people started to look at me like, are you sure you featured this person, or you went and cut his voice from somewhere and put on the song? Because there was no single identification with the song from him. This song was number one on multiple radio stations. It was doing, that's the funny thing, the song was doing so well.
Y'all want to guess the song?
No,
guess it and put in comments.
Yeah, no, guess it as well. And he was not identifying with the song in any way. And I could see him being active, posting other things, and then the night, he's probably gonna see this. And to be honest, it's all love, brother. like I have nothing. Like, I feel like I remember sending him an email a couple years after that and just saying, "Yo, if I offended you, please forgive me. Let's move on." Yada yada yada. And that was from a genuine place, and I've moved on from that. But I remember the day that I snapped. It was like I remember being awake like past 1 a.m. just thinking about my life, and then because when the song was out, and I went on Twitter and he was tweeting at a secular Nigerian artist trying to get their attention. And I just lost my mind. I'm like, what do you mean you are on a song that is on every radio chart across Africa? You're not identifying with it, but you are trying, you who is a Christian artist, you are trying to get the attention of a secular artist. I lost my mind and I sent him a message. It was like, I just told him, like, what's, like, you can't be on a song. I know. In hindsight, I was being entitled. I wouldn't do that today. I wouldn't in any way. But I was just a kid, man. I was sad. I was almost depressed because people were now wondering if I took his voice from somewhere and just put on the song. It was looking like it was a scam, like the collaboration was a scam.
Yeah.
And then he replied to me, one of the most condescending messages I've ever received. And then he ended it, I'll never forget. He ended it with, in Burna Boy's voice, "I can't come and kill myself."
Stop.
And I remember just being in the studio like 2 a.m. and I broke down crying. Like, I was so sad. Like, if I'm someone who's very confident in myself, I've never had inferiority complex. I don't have inferiority complex. But that night I felt as less than as I've ever felt in my life.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Like top three most belittling moments of my life. Oh wait, top 5. I have actually a few belittling moments. We have time, I might share some stories.
I'm sorry.
But I was so sad from that experience, and then I wrote a song that night in the studio.
Period.
I wrote a song. The song is called "My Story," and that song, the chorus, I was saying, "Oluwa changed my story." Because I was like, I cried to God. I'm like, Dan, you have to. I was like, God, I have to. My father. At
this point, I won't let you go.
I'm like, I'm not letting you go. I have to see some motion in my life. And it's crazy. God just really changed things from that moment.
He always, I don't know, you know.
I feel like God is just so compassionate.
I feel like that had to happen to stay you, to put you in that point where you're like, nah, this is it. That
happened. That actually happened a few times. That has happened a few times to me in my journey. Quite a few times. In fact, there's somebody who I think after this recording, I'll call him and just because I feel like he knows what he did to me, and he still carries it in his heart. I've forgiven him, but I feel like it weighs on him, and I need to call him and just free him of that.
Wait, this same person?
No, somebody else. This one to somebody else that I looked up to, and I'm like, I've seen Shige in this life.
No, don't worry. I feel like this is Shige is.
I feel like it was part of character building, and it makes me to be able to like be careful with how I handle other people who are like coming up, who are not where I'm at the moment. But then enough about me. Have you had any experiences like that in your journey of? So 2 questions. Have you had an experience like that? And then 1, was there ever a moment in your life where you saw someone acting and you thought to yourself, I want to be that? Like, how did the idea of acting come about?
Of course. Now, let me give you the gist. Okay, so I started as a makeup artist. I used to do makeup before.
Wow.
But like I didn't have the patience to, because clients sometimes they were so rude. No, why'd you do this on my face? No, I don't like. I want it to be this way. I'm like, you're not gonna talk to me like that, please. So I got tired of that, and I remember I was going to this particular gym. I started to go to the gym really early, like when I was like 16, 17. I was going to the gym, and then I saw this actor. And I was like,
At the gym?
Yeah. And he was looking, there was a way he was looking that I wanted to look. I don't know what it was. Like, trust me, he was normal.
Yeah.
But the fact that I knew he was an actor, it just, there was something it did to my insides. Like, my
Aura.
insides jumped. I'm like, yeah, I like that.
There's the aura.
So I
Yeah.
started to tell my gym instructor, like, I think I want to try acting. Because before now, I used to do commercials. I said commercials when I was 8.
Yeah.
So the camera wasn't a stranger to me.
Yeah.
So I was like, I think I want to take it up a notch because I can't just be doing commercials all my life.
So you didn't do any drama in church?
I used to be very shy.
Oh, I used to act drama in church.
I don't know. I don't know how that works. Like, okay, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But I told my gym instructor, I'm like, can you hook me up with this guy, please? Because I think I want to. So I told him, I said, I want to start doing. I think I want to start acting. He's like, are you sure? That's what he asked me. He was like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I think I'm sure. He's like, no, go and think about it and let me know if you want to. And at that time, I was watching Empire.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Remember when Empire came out? It was the rave.
It was so... I was so obsessed with that show that
Yeah.
I was saying the lines with the lead actress on it.
Oh, wow.
Like, I would watch, and when it gets to a scene where I'm like, yeah, I would say it the way she said it, and it felt really good.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. And I came back, I said, yeah, I think I want to do it. It's like, okay, you have to start going for auditions, you have to do this. Like, the process sounded stressful.
It was.
I was like, I would do it. Then I remember going home that day. It felt like I got a yes from God. Like, there was a happiness I felt when I had come to a resolution that I wanted to do it. I remember going home to my mom like, Mommy, I think I want to act film. She was like, what are you saying? You want to do what? I said, I want to act film. She was like, so what's the process? What is it going to be like?
Yeah.
And I remember that 2 nights after that, there was an acting, like a workshop that somebody was, hosting on Instagram, on her Instagram live. And I remember attending it, and she asked a question, and I got the question correct.
Word?
And she commended me for getting it. And I promise you, it felt like I had won a lottery. Like, I was jumping around the house. It felt like another confirmation that yes. Because to be honest, it was just common sense. I didn't get any prior teaching. Like, it was common sense that made me answer that question. And I remember jumping around the house. I was like, Mommy, I'm definitely doing acting. Then I would pick up my phone and open up my camera and record monologues of what I thought acting was at the time. And it didn't look like this woman's own on Empire. I'm like, what's this difference? Like, God, how do I get here? And then I started to search for acting coaches. And, I hired one. And this was quarantine period. Every single day, I kid you not, every day I was working on my acting.
Was it somebody in Nigeria you hired? Or
someone in Nigeria, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Every single day.
And it was online?
Yeah, it was online. Because it was
I
quarantine.
didn't know I could do online coaching.
No, you can.
Maybe I should get one.
Yeah, you should. Every single day, I would wake up and acting would be at it. Because it was quarantine, I didn't have anything to do. So myself and acting were like this.
Yeah.
I did it every single day. And there was a time where it just felt like, because for acting, you feel it. Like, when you act, you know that you've given something.
Yeah.
So it just didn't feel like I give anything, like, during the preparation. And so I asked her, I'm like, Ma, I feel like I want you to tell me the truth. Do you think that I should do acting? She was like, hell yes.
Aww.
She was like, yes. She told me, she said, I wouldn't waste my time if I didn't see anything in you. And I was like,
that's amazing.
Okay. That's all I needed to hear.
Yeah.
And I just went. I remember when I got my first lead role. I was crying. I said I didn't want to do it. It was 90 pages and I was the lead and I was in almost every scene. And I told my mom, I remember telling my mom.
Was it a cinema film or?
Yeah, it was a cinema film. My first ever cinema. I remember shaking and I brought the script to my mother. I said, Mom, I can't do this. She was like, what are you saying? Sit down here. You are going to do it.
See, when you win your Oscar, you have to dedicate it to your mom.
Definitely, yeah. She's like, sit down here. What are you saying? I opened it. I said, Mom, see my character's name every single. And I feel like she didn't know what to tell me. She just knew she needed to pray for me. And then I went to church. I had a spiritual mom
Yeah.
at the time. So I went to church, and it was the same thing I told her. I said, I don't think I want to do it. She actually slapped me. Like, I felt like, I don't know, it was reflex. Like, immediately I said it, her hand just went.
Like, seriously?
Yeah,
like,
yes, she slapped me. She was like, I know you. I know what you've been praying for. I know your heart. Even if you don't tell me, like, I see it because I know you, because I've been mothering you for a long time. I know that you want to do this
so
thing. Like, I
amazing.
see it. So what are you saying? And I told her, these people are, so what was scaring me was I was leading Jesus, people that I grew up watching, and I was the lead. Why were they not the lead? Why was I the lead? I was pretty young, and the character that I was playing for, she was like 10 years older than me. But it worked because I used to look older. I mean, I don't know if I still do, but yeah, I looked
She's
older.
very young, guys.
I looked older than myself.
Context, this is my baby sister.
Stop.
When I say baby sister, I mean baby sister.
Well,
Trust me.
anyways, so I used to look older than myself at that time,
Yeah.
and I really looked the part. And then I told her, these are the people on this thing. These are the people. She said, it doesn't matter. Kneel down. Let me pray for you. She stayed there praying. When I say pray, it's like mini revival.
Yeah.
She was. She was praying. She said, every fear I cast it out. She was praying. She anointed me with oil. She said, now go and ask that film.
How did
My
you feel?
dear, I was still scared. I was, I dare not say that I was scared. So when I went back home, and I asked my mom,
But do
I
it
said,
scared.
do it anyhow. I told my mom, I said, Mommy, what if I don't do it well and they ask for their money back? She said, they will not ask for their
Why
money
would
back.
you even think it
I was so scared.
There was, I don't think you do a film and then they'll ask for their money back.
I was so naive
I feel
at
like
the time.
it would just take longer to film because they'll keep trying to get you to get it.
But I was really naive. I was like, Mom, what if I don't do it when they start asking people for money
Yeah.
and they'll collect their money? Because the money they were paying me for that age, I was too small to handle that kind of money, so I was so scared, And I remember taking a crash course with my coach. Like, I had to go in person. She was like, come with an attire that you can use to jump. Like, we're working. Come with tank tops. And then she told me to take off my shoes when I got to the studio, and I can never forget what she told me. She said, anyways, mini acting class for y'all. She said, pick an animal. I mean, I didn't know what to pick. She now gave me a kingfisher bird because the character was a detective. So the way those birds behave when they want to get fish from the lake or whatever. You know how focused they are. She was like, so that's your characterization. Every time you get to everywhere you walk into.
I feel like I saw that film, or I saw a clip from the film.
You probably did.
You don't remind me of two people so much. Two people you remind me of. I told you Genevieve. You remind me of Genevieve, and then you remind me of Adesua.
I'm honored. Those are my two.
You remind me of Adesua.
My two.
That's my big sis. Shout out big sis.
Oh, that's nice. Adesua is actually my. What do
you guys look alike, I think.
Oh, that's what they say.
Yeah,
I'm
you guys
honored
look alike.
Have
you met her?
No, I haven't.
Oh, she's such a sweetheart.
I'm waiting to meet her. Hopefully, I know I'll meet her one day. So she told me, she said, make sure you never lose that characteristic where you're always, it's always like you have a prey everywhere you turn to. So it affected the way my eyes were. It affected. So when I even got to set, they were worried that I wasn't talking much. I was a character all through. That's how serious I was. Even when they were playing, I was playing
how
as
old
the Kingfisher
were you
bird.
then?
I was 18 at the time.
Oh, okay.
So I was playing as the Kingfisher bird. Even when I laugh, I would just laugh a bit and come back to so that I'll not spoil my character. And it worked.
Yeah.
It really worked. If you watch this, you know it's who I'm talking about. Thank you so much for helping me with that. So that's when I knew that that was it. And it wasn't so hard.
Yeah.
Like from there, it was just. It wasn't smooth.
Yeah.
But every step I made, I saw a door open. Like every, it's like when you're feeding a bird, just one keep coming like that. That's how it was.
You have grace, because it's not like that for a lot of people. Your if I'm going to give you a new name is Watching Emir.
That's what my friend calls me.
Yes, that's
That's what my friend calls
because
me.
I know so many people in film and their stories were not as easy and smooth as yours.
Right. Because it was. I don't even want to. I'm not. I don't think it was the nights I spent because I used to sleep in church. And there was a time I used to really sleep in church. I don't think it's that. I just think it's. Till now, I don't even know what it is, but I know that God is 100% involved. If there's any time I've ever been, anybody has ever been condescending to me, yeah, there were times where I would do because
what's the lowest moment you had?
Oh, okay. So I was on this show. See how easy it came. I was on this show, and I remember it was pure comedy.
Okay.
And I wasn't. If it's now, I can do comedy because I feel like I can be funny to people around me, but at the time I couldn't act comedy. And every other person on the show, you're trying to guess the show. Every other person on the show, they were funny, but I wasn't funny. So anytime it got to
I feel like I know the show.
Anytime it got to my scene, it felt there was friction, and so the show producer called me and said, "You're not giving us what we want."
Oh.
Hey!
Did he say that publicly or
No, he called me aside. He said,
at least he respected you.
Yeah.
My experience was public.
Are you serious?
Go on,
He said,
I'll tell you.
"You're not giving us what we want. You're dropping the ball. Every time when we have more scenes of you, the response is not as it should be."
Was that a script?
No,
or was it improv?
It was improv.
How will you guys somebody that's not a comedian come and do comedy improv?
Well, no, but it was good for me because that's where I got my first cinema from.
Oh wow!
Somebody just saw me a glimpse, like, I like that face. Let's get her on the cinema. So, anyways, when he told me that, I remember crying because that's my fear. That's one of my biggest fears. I always want to be at the top. Like, I'm so hard on myself.
To give your best.
I'm really hard on myself. So when you tell me, especially the way he said it, it wasn't the best. And I was young at the time. I was like 18. I didn't know how to take, criticisms like that. And I remember going home. I cried. The next day was my birthday. And I just...
The next day?
Yeah.
Oh.
I ordered... There was a menu. I ordered almost everything on the menu, and I was eating and crying. And I told my mom.
Do you stress eat?
I mean, I used to, but I stopped. It's not healthy, And I called my mom. My mom was not home at the time. She went out, and I told her, "Mom, I want to talk to you. Like, please, can you leave everything you're doing and come now? Because I feel like hitting my head on the wall." She's like, "Okay, I'm coming. And then when she came, I told her, "I'm not acting again. I don't think it's for me. Like, they said that I wasn't so good. Like, I think I should do something else." She now sat down by my bedside. She took off her shoes because she was just coming from work. Like, from work, she came to my room. She was like, "Let me tell you something." See, I can't even remember everything she was saying because her voice was blurred out. I just knew I didn't want to act again. And I kid you not.
Did you really not want... So when you were trying to have a conversation with her, were you hoping for her to stop you from that decision? Was there a part of you that hoped that she was going to stop you from making that decision? Or did you really mean it like, I don't want to act again?
No, I didn't really mean it. I wish so. There was a part of me that just wanted everything to change. I just wanted to be good immediately. I wanted people to just like my acting. If it was not that, then I wasn't doing it again. Do you understand? I didn't want to be told that my acting wasn't good. And then she began to talk and talk. I remember her talking for like 30 minutes. When you're just away from the place, she was just talking. And when she was done, I didn't want to make her feel bad like she had wasted her time. I was like, "Okay, I've heard you. But guess what?" I told God, I'm like, "God, I feel like I want to stop, but I don't want to stop, so I don't know what to do. You're going to have to help me." So that was when I got acting coaches and all that. And she was like, "Let me tell you something," because my mom used to act in 90s. Like, she was trying to come up, and then when she got married, she stopped. So
she said, in Hollywood films?
I'm sure like he featured extra or something. She now told me, she said, "See the thing that I did not do." I remembered her saying that word. She said, "What I didn't do."
Did she say it in English or Igbo?
She said in English.
Okay.
She said, "The one I did not do,
you must do it.
You do it. It's in you. I've passed the gene to you. So this one that you're saying, you can cry, clean your eyes. What did you buy? What did you order? Didn't pay for it. Clean your eyes. When you're done, you come and act again." So that was basically the story for me.
That's amazing. Shout out to your mom.
Shout out to her.
So it's been a couple years after that. You are now AM. How did AM? You won, right?
No, I didn't win.
Okay.
My somebody I really look up to won, and she was
cutesy.
good. Yeah.
But I mean, we can all tell that you're really amazing at what you do.
Thank you.
So, because even like myself, whenever I achieve something great or like I'm on a big stage, there is a side of me that imposter syndrome tries to kick in, and I know you mentioned it earlier. And sometimes for me, my imposter syndrome works in very weird ways, where it's like my brain starts imagining that the people around me are talking about me.
Oh my God, that's torture.
Like my brain starts picking signals everywhere that they're talking about me and they're saying I'm not good enough, but they're just here with me.
Oh, that's bad.
Like, it's so bad that it's not even just strangers, like even people who work with me, my brain would be telling me they are talking about me. They are saying I'm not good enough.
Stop.
So it used to mess with my head a lot. It used to mess with because I'm a very confident person, but it used to mess with my confidence a lot.
I can imagine. I don't even know what to say.
And I promise you, sometimes I feel like I hear them saying it.
That's torture.
Because in that moment you could hear them just talking or whispering to themselves, and they could be talking about anything
something
random
else, yeah.
But my brain is telling me they're laughing at me behind my back.
I hope that stopped.
Well, it stopped. Like, it still happens here and there, but I'm in a much more confident place where I'm like, I know who I am.
That's torture.
I know who I am. I'm never gonna. Do I still feel anxiety before going on stage at any platform? Yes, I do. Because it comes from a place of, and that changed in the last 3 weeks, because I listened to a sermon from Tim Keller.
Okay.
If you check out Tim Keller, amazing preacher. He's no longer with us, but he has like a ton of sermons that comes up from time to time. And I listened to this sermon where he talked about fear, and he made a differentiation between fear and there's a hollow anxiety that you feel deep inside. And he said fear is good. He said in like sports, athletes respond in sports from a place of fear, but the hollow anxiety is a deep down an anxiety that you feel deep down inside your chest that questions your entire existence and your entire worth and your entire value. And he says that is bad, and that someone really helped me change my perspective. I'd feel like I no longer feel anxiety, because I literally just did the biggest stage of my life a couple days ago, and I wasn't anxious. Was I concerned for things to go smoothly? Yes, but I wasn't anxious. That anxiety that I would usually feel, and he said the reason you feel that anxiety is because you've placed that thing or that event at a place that is higher than the place of God in your heart.
That's
and
good.
That changed. Millie said that.
Yeah, that's good.
Changed my entire worldview. I don't care what it is. You are not more than God.
That's good.
You are not half as important as God to me. I know the most important thing in my life is God.
That's it.
And my relationship with God. So no matter what it is, I just think about it and I'm like, and then he said, it's because you are concerned about the validation of people more than the validation of God.
Yeah.
Because what is people's validation? Oh, you didn't sing well. Oh, you went this. It can never be as important as God's validation. So now it changed my entire perspective. Because like when I'm going anywhere, I'm like, I'm not here by myself. God called me to do this.
Yeah.
Like this is what He wants me to. I get backing. Yeah. So
backing.
No matter how gigantic on the stage is right now, I'm just like, I want things to go great, but I don't feel any form of anxiety. So when you do films, like, do you still feel anxiety?
So the thing is, I actually do my prep with the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very, oh my God, my friends that know me know, like, it's deep for me. Jesus and the Holy Spirit is very deep, because the way I started, it was just God. Like, I can't even pinpoint, like, I can't even put the lines together how I don't even know how it happened, right? And there's something I say to myself, I didn't bring myself to this point. There's no way I am going to sustain myself in this time. So anytime a script comes up, what I do is I put in my effort. I work hard to master the craft, right? And then it's like he just crowns it. And even the learning process is the one that helps me through the learning process. When we're breaking down, because when I get a character, I turn it to, I just wear it on my sleeves. It's like, okay, so how is she going to be walking? When I'm in the shower, I'm thinking, so how does she cook? How does she smile? What's this? What does she want most? And in that, that process, I hear God also giving me, okay, no, don't do it like this. I think you should do it like this. This will work best. If you do it like this, it'll do that. Like, he is in the process. It's integrated. Like, the whole process is integrated. So when I show up in front of the camera, because I know that it's not me. I didn't hustle my way into this place. Like, everything is just God's flow, right? I don't think that hustling my way in the project would help me in any way. I've done my preparation. I'm just going to let myself go and leave myself to God. Amazing. Because I'm still mastering, but I have come to this point where the reality of the fact that I have God's spirit in me has hit,
changes everything
more than ever. So everything I do, everything I say is as a result of what the spirit, or of what God would have me do. In fact, when I'm on a project that I know God does not want to be able to be on, I know still to just be going, but I sometimes I feel that way, but I just remind myself, you didn't bring yourself here, so you're not sustaining yourself here. So that's what it is. Have
you I know we've had this conversation before, but you've had to turn down certain projects, and you don't need to call names, but what was, because I know what it is, but just to encourage somebody out there, just standing on your beliefs, and like, you had to turn down project, what was the process behind that?
So because it is God who's the source of who I am, who I would ever be, or who I'm becoming, I feel like representing him is such an important thing for me. Right. And I really want that to show you my beliefs in the kind of things that I do, because even if it hasn't really fully materialized, I feel called. I don't know, I just feel called to, I don't know what it is, but like it's just something. And when I got the role, like, when, I don't know if you guys know this plant, that when you touch the plant just... When I got... That's how it felt.
What's it called? Is
touch
it cactus?
And die, that's what we call it. We call it touch and die.
I feel like it's cactus.
If you guys know the English name for it, please put in the comments, because I don't.
It might be cactus, but I might be wrong.
Well, so when I got the offer... And the way it is very subtle. They're like, no, it's not a... It's just, it's just... I feel like for me is getting wider. Like, there are just some things. There's some things I can do. There's some things I cannot do. For years back, the things that I cannot do, I still said, okay, I could do them. But now, so when it came to me and I saw it, they were like, no, it's not. It's just to suggest. I'm like, nah, I can't suggest this particular thing. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. It's not. It's against my beliefs, right? Like, I don't think I should represent what I don't believe. Acting is representation, right? And I believe a lot of things. Trust me, I believe a lot of things. I believe, but there are some things that's just no. It's just like a red lining for me. Like, nah, you can't, because all of who I am, everything I owe it to, like, it's for His glory. I didn't do anything. It's very thorough for me. So I turned that down, and it was hard, because the offer was good.
The money was good.
Yeah, the money was good. The money was, it was beautiful. It didn't take more. It was just like how many. It wasn't much, but it was just a subtle thing. And I was like, nah. And then I was broke, very broke.
Was that before your Netflix film?
It was after it.
It was after it. Okay.
Yes. I was very broke at the time. I just remember thinking to God, I was like, God, I don't want to take this. You're going to have to bring something after this to help me, because I need this money. You know I need money.
Yeah.
Right? And he was like, yeah, sure. And after it, I got an offer. Obviously, I just knew, because that's how God is. After it, I got an offer.
Yeah.
You know, that I accepted. And in my heart, I remember feeling so fulfilled that I turned down that job. I felt peace in my heart. Like the peace that I felt in my heart, I literally felt a pat on my back from God. Like, well done. Yes, my child. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I know that experience, because I've been there a number of times, and it's so crazy that those offers, those tempting offers, are tempting in the sense that the money is good. It usually comes at the time when you need money.
Definitely.
Most.
Definitely. And you're just like, Satan, not today. Not like I see what you're doing, but like, not today.
In my head, I picture my guardian angel at the side saying,
please don't do
it. There is so much right after this door. I always picture that my guardian angel is saying, don't do it. If you get past this, there is a mighty reward. And I don't want to preach a false sermon. The truth is, sometimes you might turn down things and not get anything. God didn't promise any of that. But the one thing you can always rely on, like she said, is the peace
that comes from it.
The peace that you get from choosing God, even in the midst of lack, is.
And you know that, to be honest, I don't think there's any time where I have been backed up to the wall. You know what I mean, backed up to the wall? Like, maybe like the suffering was massive that I was going to die.
You never suffer.
Do you like? I feel like he always, I mean, sometimes he lets me almost reach the ground. Like, if it feels like a fake test, like, you know, I'm trying to fall, and when I get here, he just takes me up again. You know, I don't think there's any time that I have ever been backed up to the wall. And that this is a lesson I learn every time. It's like, I would never let you get there. I would just trust me. Like, I hear him say almost every time, trust me.
I mean, he said in his word, he'll never give us more than we can bear. So at the back of my mind, I always have that my trust cannot be in the provision. My trust is in the provider. And even if the provider decides to not provide provision, I find peace in knowing that I have the gift of a provider and the gift of a father.
Because there was one time I was asking God, you know, I was very persistent about something I was asking him for. And, you know, I was like, okay, let's talk. Why are you not listening to me? And he said, why don't you trust me? Why do you trust men more than me? I was shocked. I'm like, I knew I said I wanted to talk, but don't bring gun here. It's just a knife for you. You know, he said, why do you trust men more than me? And the way I talk to God, I just, like, if I'm disappointed, if I'm frustrated, I just let him know. I'm like, I don't feel like I don't understand what you're doing. I don't like what's going on. This is I'm very real with him. And then I responded. I said, okay, you want to know why I don't trust you, or why I trust men more than you? I said, I feel like I can keep tabs on them. I can call them and say, where are you? Have you done it? Have you dropped this? I can keep tabs and say, okay, yeah. He said, that's the problem. You want to keep tabs on me. You want to monitor my every move. You want to monitor. I said I would do it. How I would do it is none of your business.
So good.
I was cooking. I remember dropping the spoon. I'm like, You know, he said, you want control. I need you to let go of that control. Can't control
that's
me.
the hardest thing.
You know?
That's the hardest part of building faith and trust in God. It's like letting go
of that control. He said you have to let go of that control. And trust me, guys, the next 1 week was a tough exam of letting go of that control. I remember in the span of that 1 week, I started the 1 week blaming him. I'm like, you don't listen to me. I would cry and say, no, you don't listen. Can you just do this one thing for me? I moved from that to, even in the pain, in the agony,
Yeah.
I kept saying I love you and I trust you. And I mean hot tears. I don't know. You know when you're saying something you don't even know how you're saying it. Like in my head when I say it I'm like, girl. Yeah, so I would cry and I would say I love you, I trust you so much with all of my heart.
Yeah.
I just want to stay here. Like there were things I was just professing love to God, and I remember starting the week like I was fighting with him, you know, and I'm sorry, it just felt really refreshing because afterwards, like after that process, my trust and my faith in him doubled.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can tell me right now. Maybe for this period, there's nothing you can tell me.
Hopefully we stay like that.
Yeah, I want to stay like that. There's nothing you can tell me. He would always come through. So
we've come to the top of the hour. I feel like you and I can talk for 4 hours.
I know.
We're gonna have subsequent episodes at some other time because there's so much I feel like I want to talk to you about. I want to even talk to you about music and stuff, but because I know we've shared stories about how you interact with music, and that's something I'm interested in hearing. But I have to wrap up at the top of the hour.
Yeah,
But this was a very lovely conversation, and I feel like this feels a lot like what I really wanted to achieve with this pilot episode. Just relaxed, chilled conversation with my friend, and sharing our stories and faith in the middle of all of that. So yes, guys, subscribe. How do they used to say it? This is my YouTube channel, guys. So like and subscribe.
Yes.
Turn up the notification. This is what I mean podcast. The next time you will be seeing an episode, it will probably be in a different setting, and it would get better from here. But I hope that we were able to be worthy of your time that you spent listening to us. I'm Limoblaze, and this is my friend
Adaobi.
You can check her out on Instagram, by the way. Can you tell what's your Instagram?
My Instagram is the Adaobi, THE_Adaobi. Yeah, that's
I'll try to put it on the screen. I hope I have the time to edit.
I'll put it on the screen. You will.
But yes, guys, thank you for tuning in.
Thanks,
and I hope
guys.
I see you in the next episode. And this is what I mean. Let's go.